Have you ever had that moment in the middle of the night when your phone buzzes? Motion detected. Front door. Everyone's asleep. The house is quiet. But someone or something is standing right outside. You open the live feed, and for a second, it feels like you're staring straight into your own eyes. Except the thing on the other side doesn't blink. Here's the strange part. None of these videos are fake. They were all really recorded by the cameras that were supposed to protect us. But what happens when the camera sees something it's not supposed to? What if the thing outside isn't trying to get in? It's just waiting for you to look back. Level 1. It was a quiet night in a small neighborhood in Virginia. People woke up to the sound of their doorbells ringing one after another in the middle of the night. But when they opened the door, no one was there. Only a small box and the footage from their doorbell cameras. A man wearing ordinary clothes, but with an old television for a head. He walked slowly, stopped in front of each house, placed a box on the porch, and turned toward the camera, smiling. No voice, no sound, just that faint, static noise, like an old TV searching for a signal. And then, he was gone. Police called it a prank, said it was just someone making a weird video. But here's the strange part. Over 50 houses reported the exact same footage. The same man, the same movements, the same night. And people who watched the video claimed they saw something impossible. Their own reflection moving inside the TV screen on his head. When one of the boxes was finally opened, inside was an old VHS tape. When police tried to play it, it lasted only 4 seconds. A blurry image of a single eye and a distorted voice whispering, "Are you watching or being watched?" No one ever found the man. But a few weeks later, one resident said that when she turned on her TV late at night, for just a few seconds, she saw him standing there again. A man with a television for a head, staring back at her. If you made it this far, you already know this wasn't just random footage. Every clip hides something bigger than what the camera shows. So if you want to go deeper down this rabbit hole, subscribe and stay close, because the next level is darker than anything you've seen before. It was a quiet afternoon. Sunlight fell softly across the porch of an ordinary house, where a single delivery box sat by the front door. Everything looked completely normal. But a few hours later, that same box would make hundreds of people lose sleep that night. The doorbell camera had recorded every moment. A white car pulls up. A man steps out slowly, walks toward the house, and looks directly into the camera lens. Then he smiles. Not like a thief, more like someone who knows he's being watched. He picks up the package, but before leaving, he bends closer to the camera and whispers something. The words were unclear, but when the police filtered the audio, they heard a sentence that made no sense. "It's not yours, anymore. Hours later, the homeowner returned. But here's the strange part. The package wasn't even real. It was an empty box with a fake address. And when they checked the camera's memory, the same video was there again. But this time, from a different angle. An angle showing someone recording the scene from inside the house. Police said it was probably hacked, but the homeowner swore that camera had never been connected to Wi-Fi. Since that night, every time he walks past his front door, the camera turns on by itself, even when no one's there. And each time, the same faint voice plays through the speaker. It's not yours anymore. It was a rainy night. Around 3 a.m., the doorbell rang in a quiet suburban street. The homeowner woke up, checked the camera feed, and saw a man drenched, staring straight into the lens. He didn't knock. He just smiled, then whispered, "I know you're awake." Police later said he was drunk, that he'd gone to the wrong house. But something didn't add up. The next morning, when the homeowner replayed the footage, he found one extra frame. The man was inside the house. And the angle was filmed from inside. It was a quiet night, the neighborhood asleep, the streets empty. Then the doorbell rang. When the homeowner checked the camera, there was no one there. But the footage showed something else. A woman, clearly drunk, stumbling up the porch, bottle in hand, laughing, whispering to herself, and then doing something that made the owner call the police immediately. Seconds later, the image glitches. A faint shadow appears behind her, not quite human, standing perfectly still. The police said it was probably a prank. But later that night, the doorbell rang again, and the camera turned on by itself. It was a quiet winter evening. An old man, carrying a few grocery bags, was walking back home. The doorbell camera turned on. A shadow appeared, moving slowly toward him. He was just a few steps away from his door, but before the key could turn, the shadow reached him. No scream, just the sound of a fall. Then, the screen went black. Police said it was just a robbery, but when they looked closer, in the reflection of the glass door, they saw the old man's own face staring back. Since that night, the house has stayed empty. But neighbors say that sometimes, even now, the doorbell light turns on by itself, and for a split second, a shadow stands exactly where he fell. It was a quiet, hot afternoon. The doorbell blinked. Motion detected. The owner opened the live feed and froze. Right in front of the lens, shimmering scales, a golden eye staring straight into the camera. A soft hiss echoed through the speaker. The snake slid over the frame, coiling around the bell. Each touch triggered the system. Person at your door. By the time help arrived, it was gone, leaving just a trail of dust and a faint smear on the lens. That night, the doorbell lit up again, No one was there. Only silence. And something still watching. It was a quiet night. A family was having dinner when the doorbell alert went off. Motion detected. A man in a dark hat walked to the porch, tried the doorknob, and pulled something shiny from his pocket. From inside, a voice said, "Get away from my house." The man smiled, then hit the door with his shoulder. A flash. The screen went white. When it came back, he was gone. Police called it home defense, but neighbors said they'd seen the same man earlier, standing outside the kid's window. Now, every night at the same time, the doorbell camera turns on again, but no one's there. It started as a simple motion alert, just another ding in the middle of the night. But when the homeowner checked the feed, there wasn't a person. There was an eye, pressed right up against the lens, blinking, watching. Police said maybe it was a prank, until they found fingerprints on the camera from the inside of the glass. It was just an ordinary afternoon. The homeowner stepped outside to grab a package from the porch. Everything looked normal, quiet, calm. But just as he reached out his hand, a shadow dropped from the top of the doorframe. The doorbell camera caught everything. A snake, coiled around the doorbell, waiting, perfectly still. And the moment his fingers touched the button, it struck. Fast, almost too fast for the eye to see. You can hear the man's scream echo through the porch, and then a shaky whisper picked up by the mic. "It was looking at me before it bit." It's past midnight. The street is silent. A notification pops up. Motion detected. Front door. 3 shadows approach. One steps back, holds his breath. Boom! The doorbell cam freezes the moment. Laughter, panic, running. But it wasn't a prank. The homeowner was alone, terrified, calling 911. A minute later, another boom. The door cracks open. Alarms go off. By morning, the faces were identified. They thought it was just a viral challenge. But that night, they were one kick away from disaster.